Ooh.
Hello, everybody. Another Tuesday on the Poetry Corner. This is more like Poetry Corner LA. got my got my guests here from out here in the West Coast and Poetry Corner Universe. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. So we're gonna get this here started. The power of poetry. Yeah. So next coming up, I'm gonna introduce EJ Bowman.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, evening. It's been a humid and cold one today, so at least we're headed in the right direction for fall. I'm going to start off today with a poem about my hometown called Tehachapi, which is
Well,
up the grapevine towards the bottom.
um,
Um, sir, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, EJ. I want you to let everybody know who you are first, if you don't mind,
All
where
right,
you're
no
from and
problem.
everything, and then we can go into the poetry if you don't
What
mind.
is it
Thank you
all
very
about the
much.
poetry? Does it even matter who I am? I'm
Yes, it does. We have an audience out there.
Okay. I'm a teacher. I'm an author. I've written several. I've mostly spent my time writing textbooks. So I've written several textbooks for high school honors literature and history. And this year, I'm actually currently on medical leave because I probably need brain surgery, which is a bummer. But I just spent a year with the University of Chicago with the Writers Studio and also working with the Community Literature Initiative out of USC with actually both Drea and Sid and Ebony and Juice Mackins and Audrey and everybody else. So we're all a big family here. We've all been working together for over a year now. And because of my connections with CLI and with the University of Chicago and some other things, I'm actually headed out to New York to do this for real. Got into Columbia, and my MFA starts next fall.
Oh, that's what's up. So that's Columbia University, huh?
Yeah, back to more graduate school. Never the end of graduate school.
I used to live down the street from Columbia University.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Morningside
Mhm.
Heights?
Huh? Nah.
Morningside Heights or
Between
Harlem?
Harlem.
Harlem. I'm hoping to
Yeah.
find a place there as I think I don't want to have to take North Metro all the way from Connecticut.
Nah, it's all good. Well, thank you for giving that introduction and everything like that. I know you got some beautiful pieces here tonight.
Hey, Audrey, I miss you. All right, can I start now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's do it. This is about my hometown, which is at the bottom of the grapevine. If you know the Angeles Forest, it's up Highway 2 and then Highway 58. So the land of farms, farm town, as far as you can see. No Wi-Fi. It's a different way of growing up. All right, this one's called Tehachapi. We lost the house in August. Mom said we were selling, but it felt damn near losing any way you bent it. I stopped speaking for 3 months, the for sale sign swinging hard against my mouth. So it goes, and it went. Like all who live in country towns know well the tight chestedness, the cozy smallness of the roads and undomesticated space. The wild curling around the basins, a kind of sinking into. We learn how to breathe with our mouths closed. So it goes, and it went. Once upon a thin November afternoon, you might motor through the Mojave, a pitiful petrol station empty and lusterless baked sand frozen in all directions before the last ascension. Even now, a hardy people, tanned and leather booted, elders of a culture half forgotten in the West. The valley chiseled pockmarks, how vast the fields of windmills, open palmed daisies, stoic in the brittle air where dormant fields of apples sleep away a waning autumn, what the Kawaiisu Paiute claimed the hard climb, now the sharp breath of the juniper, the stench of sweat and Steinbeck. So it goes, and it went. This town is the place you drive through to get to where you drive through. No one takes the 58 to get home. The hardiness maintains a field of migrant tents at harvest and a curious misspelling of Tucker Street, the ongoing prank of truant boys, all of whom are mysteriously named Jacob, and so on. The rolling-eyed reeling of Highline in a filthy mud-flat pickup, driven unironically, the land of frost and life is a highway, and there's only one highway here, and it leads to the Supermax in Cummings, and a sign which reads, "I am no longer from where I am from." The north mouth of the valley, space for river and railway loops, a stretch of grass under red clay roofs which Chavez called La Paz, and oaks which never knew surrender, upended roads cleverly rendered split the fall to Kern. It wasn't until we had exhaled, expired, exhausted it that I found all the little parts of me I'd cut off, secreted in cupboards and collectible thimbles, dust under the rug, and so on. I paced these small amputations together and tried to unearth, uproot, God, why so much linguistic burial? The jagged concessions we had made. You might find a plot some ways across that hold the quiet dead. This one, a fallen horse, the other, typhus. Here, a pair of siblings, well acquainted, 2 centuries long in marble beds. My father's house lies on the eastern edge, tucked behind the cypress to wandering ghosts of amicable bent. And so it goes, and it went. Perhaps like me, you'll find your feet cold fast between the hedgerows, peeking from the graveyard stones into the yard of some unknown new child where once I dropped an apple core, and what is more, defied it to grow there. Stand 3 straight trees, notched and freckled, in a bleached wooden barrel.
All right. We getting off to a good start here. Thank you for that beautiful piece. Now we're going to come through with Sid. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Glad you could be here tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
No doubt. How about you let everybody know who you are, where you from, what you got going on, and what your social media activities.
Okay. Well, my name is Sid Leilani. I'm born and raised in Inglewood, California, currently living in Westchester. I have 2 books out, one called Scribbled. My camera's blurred, but one called Scribbled and another one called Marathon. I recently released Scribbled last year in July. It's been a beautiful experience. This book tells my truth. It tells my scribbled truth. So I'm going to be reading a piece from there today.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, the stage is yours.
Alrighty, thank you. So this one is called Potentially Fall in Love. I could potentially allow the wind to sweep me off my feet, as long as the dust of love doesn't plant its deceit anywhere in my mind, because that'll be a bittersweet war I'll have with my heart, and man, I'll be left in such a defeat. I slowly built that bloody red brick wall after numerous times the trust miscalled and the honesty of the relationship was never installed, patching these bricks with long-feared awful tears, hoping that they would never fall, assuming that the emotions would be blocked out for all. But I see it potentially happening. Does the dust of love have a meaning? During the blissful autumn season, when the trees decide to switch up the game without a reason and allow the dust of love to swift people off their feet like a demon, a tornado of hormones begin to bundle up, leaving my heart screaming. I understand my heart wants to explore, but what's the dream in it all? My heart wants the air to be crisp so I can steal the guy's jacket on a cold night, and wants the dust of love to smash our hands together in the light. It begs the wind to spell our names in aroma bright, enough so it can be heard, but my mind looks at the awful hormones in spite. I'm constantly at war with my mind because I'm afraid and falling in love blind. It's like going to Subway and ordering that dream sandwich combined, but then they screw up and you're left there with some piece of shit undivine. I want to be in love. My heart wants to flutter with the butterflies above, yet the way the universe is acting like love is something I should avoid. Love is something I cannot love. I could potentially allow the wind to sweep me off my feet, but I know if that comes with such a treat, the insecurity in my mind on who he's messing with in the streets, jealousy, and being envious is on repeat. Is this what the dust of love does to people in heat? All of these problems are dwelled up from the past. It's not something I asked for. It's something society portrayed me for, and I think they should recast. Guy after guy, simply wanting the same thing fast. Should I give it up or potentially fall in love at last?
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
We flowing in tonight. I see that. Thank you for that beautiful piece.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Miss Drea.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea. I, sorry, somebody was just texting me. Um, I attended CLI Community Literature Initiative with these beautiful ladies and some of the ladies, the people in the comments as well. Currently, I'm working on creating a class with me and Ebony are going to teach poetry to young teens and adults. So we're going to teach poetry backwards from the present to the past. And that's to get them more interested, you know. So we are working on that project amongst a few other things. My poem today is titled Us. I have a book coming out June 28th. That's my birthday. It's going to be at the Sims Library of Poetry, and I want you ladies to be there. Everybody is welcome. It's going to be a production. So I'm going to cook, and we're going to have a whole bunch of entertainment. So the book is titled Connections Between Us. So for each word, I want to write a poem, and this one is labeled Us. They labeled us, banded us, abused us, owned us, used us, turned on us, separated us, mistreated us. In my lifetime, I have never been mistreated, disrespected, turned on, abused, used, cursed, put down, led astray by no one other than my own race. I never knew what it felt like, the betrayal, the envy, the jealousy, the disregard, the lies, the backstabbing, the mistrust, the misleading. It all came from us. I was taught that they were the bad ones, they were the racist ones, they were the ones that were disregarding me, put me down, lie on me, backstab me, betrayed me. I'm not saying that there are not some racists out there that don't like me, but I've never been in a situation where I had to face fears in front of them. It's always been us. The nightmares walking, psychopaths talking, the predators, the rapists, the child molesters, my mother, my father, my sister, my coworkers, us. My own race were the people that looked like me turned on me, disregarded me, raped me, beat me, betrayed me, lied on me, gave up on me, but I never have I ever given up on us. I still love us, fight for us, stand up for us. I'm the just one amongst us that's going to change the stigma about us. All it takes is just one of us to change how we think and feel about us, how we love us, how we connect with us, how we treat us, how we care for us, how we are there for us, how we show up for us, how we build with us, how we value us, how we are loyal to us. It's time for us to change us, control the narrative, change the stigma about us. No more nightmares, no more fears, no more tears. Build trust in us.
Us. That's what it's about. Thank you for that beautiful piece. Appreciate that. Everyone out there in Poetry Corner Universe, please click like and subscribe to the channel. Water us as we water you with these notifications to future shows. So, we're going to swing back around to EJ.
Hi, guys. This is one that has been around the block a bit. And it was in my first and only. I've done plenty of textbooks, but this is the only poetry book called How to Hear the Voices. This is called A List of What Will Be My Niece's Favorite Words. No. And yes. Again. And watch me. Words like banter and igloo, words that taste good. Words like safe and double dog dare, panettone, Peter Pan, firefly, calico, and hopscotch. Words like frolic and honeysuckle, the sounds of a third grade summer speckled and sun lovely. And all the words that somehow say just what you mean when you mean them, I give you timbre and delight, angry and then not. I give you capable and kind, calm and wild and tenacious, and I give you all the words I have not learned to say. Words like encourage and envision, and words that create new spaces. I will teach you how to use them. I will make you use the dictionary. I will bring out the step stool and help you climb to the high shelf. I'm not sure why the dictionary is always there, always high, just like my father did with me. If you don't know, here is where we look. This in English, this in Spanish, this in Italian, just in case, and call me whenever you need the French. Your father is useless in French. Keep me on speed dial. We use these words on purpose. They are here to teach you, each a hardy shingle to keep the water out. When we are out of words, we will make new ones. Vashti, Boudica, and basta. All the words I wish for you, brave girl, hold. You do not have to learn them all at once. Each will be waiting here for you whenever you need them.
All right, EJ. You let them know, girl. That's what's up. Thank you for that beautiful piece. Appreciate that. All right, Sid, we're coming back to you.
Alrighty, so I'm trying to debate on two poems right now. I think I'm gonna go with my gut feeling. So just give me 1 second to get to that page. So this poem right here is one of my friend's favorites. I read this poem at my book release last year, and my friend was like, "Oh my God, so like, why haven't I ever heard of this before? Like, this is something that needs to be everywhere." And so I called this one Yummy Land. How can you be so sweet like licorice and tasty like candy baked yams? I could devour you in one bite, but savory in the taste makes the chase more of a game like Candyland. The exploration across your board enlightens my curiosity, giving me a sweet tooth, beckoning for the truth that lies between every color that defines you. My curiosity craves for more, but what do you have in store? The ongoing mission I set sailed, hoping to find you, the Candy King, was something I was hoping for. You were something my heart needed, something perfect for my self-esteem. With every card drawn, you were pulling me closer to you. It feels as if my feelings were more genuine in the beginning, but now it's a chase in the game. But now the bond I built across your board feels like you're mine and my love is on the line. Those secretive messages along the way could have been seen as a distraction. However, anything with your name involves leads to every gingerbread man's satisfaction. It was the chemistry involved the moment I touched your board, a fatal attraction, welcoming me in the heart of your Candyland. Thank you.
The heart of the Candyland. That was real nice. I like that. Y'all just coming through with these nice, beautiful pieces. I'm enjoying it as a fan of poetry. All right. Miss Drea, we're coming back around to you.
Okay, we had a prompt in class this Saturday, and we had to write a poem about our book signing and what was going to happen there. So I titled it Dope Poet. There is power in the tips of your fingertips. Your manuscript could heal a soul with a familiar tone. Your voice speaks relatable truths that is birthed from within you. We need more of the lessons you learn to stop a tragedy from manifesting your words. Could be the key to adjust, releasing your truth. The day has arrived. It's time. The book release, the birth of your words for all to witness. This event, hand clapping, finger snaps, loud, yes, girl, you did that. Praise dance and jazz music playing. Set the mood, mellow vibes, good times. Food for the soul, smiles on the faces of everyone in the crowd. The overwhelming feeling of gratefulness, gratitude, love, and support. Everyone that was invited showed up. This is so dope. I'll never forget this moment. My words are encrypted in the pages of the book that I created, locked on computer screens, one click purchase, read by the minds of the ones that needed this. I am living in a dream. My community is lit. Thank you, Hiram CLI. We did this. I needed this. Started in season 7, TA in season 8, alumni season 10. Finish, we all win. Thank you to the ones that believed and helped me succeed.
All right. Miss Dre out there coming through. Thank you for that beautiful piece. Also want to mention, anyone tuning in right now, go out there, tell a friend, the Poetry Corner is right now. This is the LA edition. Now, I have a question for each one of y'all that's on this platform right now. I'm going to start off with you, EJ. How do you feel about the different genres of poetry?
Well, so I am a high school teacher. I've been teaching for 13 years. 11 of them have been high school. And what I find is most compelling about poetry is that it's not specific to one age group. You can use it as a tool. I think you had Ebony on last week, and she has made some pretty significant waves in the LA school district because she's including poetry for her kids. And I think they're in middle school, maybe 6th grade. And she is using it as a way to not only train these kids to be expressive, but also to make literature really accessible and tangible for these kids. That's something really extraordinary, especially if you're in, and I know that she's in a specialty school where you may not have the best textbooks and you may not have all the technology, but what we have is the ability to share words, to share stories. And there's something so vulnerable and inviting and welcoming about that, because we can connect over literature. We can write poetry together. We can digest it together. I don't think there's anything that really compares to that as a teaching instrument.
Okay. Now, what about the different genres of poetry?
Different genres of poetry.
How do you personally feel about that?
Sure. So I think primarily, modern poets tend towards free verse, which has its place, but I try to make sure that I write in every possible cadence and every possible iteration of poetry, simply because it's a good writing exercise. I like having to sort of wrestle through meaning, and I think that there are really valuable lessons to be learned from the old school, like the Spenserian sonnets, for example. I love reading Fairy Queen with my students because it's something you have to say out loud, and it's something that it's a bit of a group project to work through it. I think free verse is far more accessible to the modern. I think it sounds anything that's got kind of a free rhythm to it feels a little bit easier. Right. It's maybe a little more palatable, but I think that we miss something when we don't also study more classical techniques.
Okay. Well, you summed it up right there for yourself. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now, I'm going to switch over to you, Sid.
Yeah, the different genres. I'm going to just piggyback off of EJ because she kind of explained it all. But I do agree that it's important to use those different practices and those techniques in your writing. When I was a part of Community Lit, I write a type of style. I try to embrace all styles, and I try to incorporate that in my practices. But being a part of that group, listening to the wonderful poets in that class, it just gave me a new opening, hearing everyone's types of styles, where they're coming from. Not everyone does love poetry, and that's my focus. Not everyone does, heartbroken poetry. Not everyone does the same thing. So it kind of gives you a new opening and an awakening, like, hey, like maybe I can touch that, maybe, or, this might be some poetry that I can fall deep into.
All right. Okay. Is there any particular genre that you care to express your poetry through?
My poetry, I find myself talking about love and family and a self journey. I find myself going through that motion all the time. I try to pull myself out and try to tackle other things, but for some reason I keep falling there.
All right. Sounds good to me. Very expressive. And I thank you very much for stepping up to the plate with that. All right, Miss Drea, we coming on around to you.
For me, my first book that I wrote was called The Power to Change the Way to Love Yourself. So it touches on a different, different love, like family love. You first learn about love from family, then your friends, and you get a little boyfriend or girlfriend, you think you're in love. So depending on the way that you were introduced to love, it was if it was like natural, supportive, or if it was tragic. You just accept this, you just family, so you have to love them.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with a lot of underprivileged children in the system, and their outlook on love was very different, from a lot of people, because they didn't have like people that loved them, but because they felt like I have to love this person because they're my family, they're my mom, they're my dad, even though they harm me, I still want that connection. So I just touched on like different aspects of love. And I also talk about community in my poetry, and race sometimes, not ever, racial or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the
Right.
separation or the divide. So we try to find some connection. So my poetry is more about connecting, the love and the understanding from every different culture. Because for me, I can sit in a room with a million black people, just me, a million white people, just me, a million Hispanic people, just me, and I'm comfortable. But I hear people
Right.
say, well, I'm uncomfortable. Why? We're all people. We have some kind of connection and we have something in common.
That's
So why
right.
are you uncomfortable with that? We all eat food. I can cook for you. We all like some form of entertainment. So we do poetry. So we have something to share and give with each other. I just like experiencing different cultures and bringing, people together. I'm so happy that, everybody that I invited was able to come, and you just see, hear their words, and it's so, beautiful and nice to feel that. I really dig like the music in poetry and how it just flows, and when they have that beat and that repetition. So, I really enjoy
Yeah.
that. You could put a jazz beat to it, or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what is very
Thanks.
enjoyable, to me. And
All right.
like one of my favorite poets is always, the of course my classmates and things like that. But I like the ones that was like really into it, like deep, like people really didn't understand Tupac and what he was talking about and how to bring, community together. And sometimes he was all over the place. Then you have like Nina Simone and, different people like that. You have
Okay.
Ebony, she when she does her poem is very, powerful. When Audrey came last
Right.
week, did his, poems, and then we had Shaquan. Her poem was very powerful, and you could just
Right.
feel, it came
The
from,
strength in the poetry.
in the heart. And then you could hear from
Right.
EJ's and Sydney poems, like it just came from a place of familiar, like you could really feel it.
Familiarity. Right.
Yes, I really love and enjoy that.
Well, now I'm gonna throw a wrench in the whole questionnaire, and I'm gonna swing back over to the other two young ladies. How do you feel about, does art imitate life or life imitate art?
I think are you asking me?
Well, you can go ahead. I'll swing back to Drea.
Great. So I think it's cyclical. I think it depends on which part of the movement you've caught yourself up in. As you can see, I also teach music. And so quite a lot of what we talk about is how music influences literature, how it was influenced by history, by art, by architecture.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest parallel I can give you is this, that during the Baroque period, suddenly we started taking all these dotted notes and we'd cut off the dot. And when we study performance practice in conservatory, you learn that Baroque music is read differently. And the reason for that is the architecture. What was in vogue during the 1600s, early 1700s was vaulted ceilings. And so they had to clip those notes short in order for the air to clear. And so we actually changed the way we wrote our music because of the world around us. I can't think of a better metaphor for art and life.
Okay. Well, who's one of your favorite poets, EJ?
Oh gosh. I'd have to stick with Cummings and probably Billy Collins right now. I think what they're doing, what Collins is doing is truly unique, and I appreciate experimental poetry. I think it's a very challenging
Okay.
form.
All right. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sid, I'm gonna come through with you.
Yeah, art versus life. I'm gonna use this moment. My mom was in the hospital, and the doctor came in, and some violinists came were on the iPad, and the doctor was saying the music will, kind of encourage my mom's movement, hoping that she would show some type of motion to show her brave movement.
Right.
And I looked and I was like, she's in a coma. Like, I don't see how this would happen. Like, but okay, we can play the music. And the musicians, they played their music and they played it so strong, and motion started. Her heart rate kind of increased, and we started to see
Wow.
improvement for her. So
Right.
this art influenced life, this life influenced art. I think they're both agreeable that, I mean, there's no life without art, and art influences life. Um, just seeing it through
Man.
my mom. I mean, sadly, she didn't make it, but just seeing that little small
Yeah.
moment, that um, it was a victory right there. It was showing that the music was influencing her. It was giving her that last little moment, and it was beautiful to see that.
Well, my condolences on the passing of your mom. You know,
Thank you.
you know. My other question is, who's one of your favorite poets?
Um, so I've been reading more local stuff, and if I want to throw out some names, are people that I just remember. There is someone in our class, community lit class, and I just loved his poetry so much. Terry, his poetry was just very out there. It always touched my heart. His performances, he was a great partner, accountability partner. He's just wonderful. And also Mike, the poet. He's my long life mentor. He taught at my old high school, never taught me, but um, he's wonderful as well.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving us that strong answer. And we're gonna come back around to you, Miss Drea. Um,
Well, I can't top that.
how do
They
you
were
feel
both.
about art? Well, art, life, art. Where we going?
Well, I agree with both ladies, and a lot of times it's hard to say, because a lot of times when people are in some form of depression or even love or joy, is music, right? So we have that connection to some kind of, music that influences us, that puts us in a good mood, make us feel better. We work out. People have their workout playlists. When I write poetry, sometimes I write it to jazz music or the ocean waves or some kind of sound, just something
Okay.
relaxing. Um, so I
Yeah.
would say, I don't know. It's hard to
Well,
say.
there's no real answer to that. You know, it's just one of those trick questions. So you get the hear the response of the guest show. So there's no right or wrong answer. Just a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So let's go jazzy back into some poetry. All right, EJ, you got something more for us?
You bet. All right. I
All
think
right.
this is one of the nerdier ones I've written. Recently went back and revisited Mary Carr. She wrote an essay several years back called "Against Decoration." And while I understand the sentiment, she's trying to say, don't write over people's heads, right? She's saying, don't make references to books that no one's read. And yet I think there's something about, we are like the Avengers generation. We're the video game generation. We like Easter eggs. And I think for me, there's something just so beautiful about writing something, putting art on paper that maybe only a handful of people will find really funny. That really I love. So this piece is called On Teaching Homer for the 6th time. True story. I tell myself in stories because metaphor is easier than memoir. I have been Telemachus for 20 years. My mother is Penelope. D'Aulaire's Book of Greek Myths did for me what Chapman did for Keats, thrust me permanently into the realms of gold the way we never truly grew out of Narnia. I am still discovering the consequences of cutting my milk teeth on Psyche and Daphne and Echo, who instructed me in the traumatic ways of being female. Their counterparts, Athena, Aphrodite, Lysistrata, competent and powerful to assert themselves, the equals of heroic men. The Odyssey was a sort of hitching post for my anhedonic teenage years. My father, a celebrity of sorts, went out in a puff of anonymous smoke on a lake bed in California, or so the story goes. Classified, no real answers. For a deeply Baptist town that spelled a kind of ostracism, what is a family without a husband? A skinny 2 months before, the suitors came to sweep her off, one literally in a hot air balloon. And it occurred to me that Penelope is afforded so little agency save that which is pilfered one thread at a time, and only in deference to the man who left her behind. I clung to the rage of Antigone and summoned the gods to explain themselves. The hundreds and hundreds of letters arrived and were stacked in a shoebox for later viewing, each a memento of kindness and praise, his name engraved in a chapel, a book in the Smithsonian, a 21-gun salute, a letter from the president, and a folded flag. Heartfelt favors, all, but also the indignity of voyeurism, and the covers of local papers, the rubbernecking of horrified onlookers. His loss was something of a jumping off point for my love affair with the Greeks, stories so ubiquitous and alive, which is why we tell them in the present tense. Hush, I tell my students, if you listen, you can hear it breathing. They provide the scaffolding, the bones of culture and personal identities make safe the things that scare us. If I could interpose a trope or speak myself into being a story and not a person with the wind knocked out of her, then the grief I was navigating was not unique or isolating, but merely a point in the narrative. Every Disney character has lost a parent. So had Mary Shelley, L.M. Montgomery, Aldous Huxley. Emily Dickinson drew her knife and castrated the monstrosity of death with humor and calm. In college, one blessed text had me on the hook, retelling stories I had lived on repeat. Dorothy Parker made fun of the hero, but painted the widow in dignity. The 1,000 daily disciplines, the courage of domesticity. The poets posed the questions I was least likely to ask myself. Was the heroism worth the sacrifice? And at what point do we stop making excuses for the dead? My father was a good man after all, but problematic in the way that even good men are problematic. Of course, we know that Odysseus lives, but his family languishes in the lack of closure. No word for 20 years, and his legacy casts a long shadow. A son struggling to come into manhood on his own terms, struggling to step into the legacy which to him is just a shoebox of old letters. Old stories. Thus, we carry with us the mythologies of the dead. We stitch together the parts to approximate the whole. We edit ourselves, too, an obligation to the ancients, parts of my father that are more myth than memory. Hamlet knows this, Orwell, and Stephen Dedalus, and Luke Skywalker besides. We carry with us the ghosts of our fathers. In 2 weeks, I will teach it again. And in all its poetic retellings, we will talk about the potential of orphans, the beauty of heraldic mentors, and I will tell them my grief. We will spread out on the table the anatomy of our discourse, dissect Star Wars and Anne of Green Gables and Lord of the Flies and hosts of Avengers with absent or deficient parentage. I will tell them that loss is not my tragedy, but my origin story. Perhaps not such a tragedy that we lost the house and moved into my grandmother's basement. After all, Harry Potter lived under the stairs.
All right. EJ is coming through. I mean, thank you for that beautiful piece. Very expressive. All right, we're going to return back what you said.
Alrighty. That was beautiful, EJ. All right, this one's called Slipping Away. He's slipping away, I feel it. Even though he's only 46 miles away, I don't feel the closeness anymore. and I'm not sure if this is a perspective of mine or if this is reality of ours. I sent a good morning text this morning. Hours soon passed and no response. Yet once my friend messages, he soon responds in a group chat we're in. He's slipping away. I waited for his message all day and soon texted him again, saying, I hope your day is going okay. And again, no response. He's slipping away. He told me that he's not coming to LA. He's only 46 miles away, which takes an hour and 1 minute with traffic. He's not coming to LA. Why can't you come see me? I know you drove for a year for me. However, it feels like our clock is on the run, and I don't want to sound selfish. I don't want to sound unappreciative. But you know our schedule is about to be hectic. You know life is about to be different. 46 miles and no ounce of meeting me halfway. He said my best friend will pick me up next week. I'll see you then. How the fuck did your best friend get in the equation of us? How am I seeing you on her time? You're my dude. I don't understand. Why can't you come see me? Why can't you come and love me? He's slipping away. Did I expect to fall in love this hard? No. Do I see myself slipping away? Yeah. Is he slipping away faster? Yes. He said once college is over, after whatever happens, he told me he wants us to be us again. But I'm not telling him the truth. I'm not letting him know that the second my heart aches. One second, I'm so sorry. That the second my heart aches. Okay, here we go. The second my heart aches. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Okay. The second my heart aches, the second he touches another chick, the second he looks at another chick and starts talking to another chick, I'm gone, emotions and all. I know we built a friendship into a relationship, but I must leave to keep me sane. I'm slipping away. It hurts to say all of this because he doesn't know the truth, that I drive 46 miles to hold on to every second we have because I know we're slipping away.
All right, Sid.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Slipping away. Very nice piece. Very expressive also. Okay. We're going to come back with Miss Drea.
This title is called Vibrant. She emerges words from her fingertips. She is the picture of poetry. It lives inside of her. Fluorescent musical notes of an orchestra of sorts. Her energy is contagious. Her light brightens the darkest room. She is in tune with her emotions. Heart, mind, body, and soul. Every mood shapes her voice. She spits fire with every word that flows from her tongue. It's a ripple effect. The beating drum. Her words hit hard. The sweetest melody, every song, one voice, a harp player. The strings, one by one, a beautiful tune, vibrant thing.
Okay. All right. All right. You got away with words, I'll tell you that much. Well, for everyone out there in Poetry Corner Universe, click like and subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We out here, Poetry Corner, YouTube. Well, just to give you ladies something, I'm going to recite a piece. In this piece, I title, I Am. I am an original who see through the differences of troubled societies. I am a black man standing on the shoulders of my ancestors. I am truth looking at the liars of injustice thoughts. I am the scissors cutting the strings off the puppet master's dolls. I am strength moving in circles that see the weak taken advantage of. I am the curve that don't answer to manipulators and opportunists. I am the bell that ring like 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Who know what time it is? I am the child of two people that gave life to a guardian. I am a writer, the poet, the author, the creative content maker without distraction. I am pen that hit the pad with a rhyme scheme or manifest an ill word spoken. I am a gentleman that open opportunities willingly holding humility. I am timekeeper projecting direction without tardiness. I am the energy within the energy that carry a life force. I am the power source connecting to a tribe of outlets. I am the input to a story so grand beyond my plans. I am the newest rendition of a man behind my father's hands. King. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, we're gonna swing back around to EJ.
All right. Last one before I got to go teach. Thank you for making space for us to be here. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here.
This last one's called The Motel. The Motel. Today I was transparent, ever so sadly paper thin. The flyleaf of a Gideon Bible left in the top drawer of a chipboard nightstand in a room no one calls home. I've gathered all my words on a dime store quilt and threaded them each into each block of spangled calico. I've snipped it tight in hopes the seams will hold those nights when I need something to wrap around me. A pad of motel paper, the kind you trace over to reveal its many secrets. A pen nearly out of reasons to live, and these small, brittle poems. They leak out onto receipts, the soft inside of my arm, and twice the back of our rent check, which will need to be rewritten. They puddle, overrun the brim of a cistern meant for smaller things. I do not say, I love you. I say, here, I wrote you a poem.
All right, EJ. EJ, can you let everybody out there in the Poetry Corner universe know where they can find you at through social media so
Certainly.
they can check out your nice, beautiful poetry?
I am, the only place I really exist is on Instagram, and you can just find me, ej.bowman. Thank you so much.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Hi, EJ, good seeing you.
All right, EJ. All right. We're going to return back around with Sid.
Alrighty, so this next one is called A Black Girl's Crown. The crown that sits upon a black girl's head, empowering growth, wisdom, and truth, that constantly denied to be recognized as beauty, leaves the black girl to refuse the truth of her glory. Societal standards are being watched since birth, belittling and ruining one's upgrowing, that to be pretty means straight and skinny, and to be successful means to be attentive and an apprentice. Slowing our majestic tone, our crown is meant for so much more. The curls upon our heads flowing with the wind, our coil strings combining, our melanin shining. Why does it take for someone else to love the afro for us to begin to the natural grow? The black girl smiles knowing that there's hope. She's powerful and courageous. She's loving and kind. She holds herself in a manner knowing that life is courageous, someone no one can live without. The crown that sits upon a black girl's head is our identity. It represents our femininity. It welcomes us into womanhood, sisterhood, and motherhood. It helps us connect us to our roots that's been moisturized through generations. Our crown is never ending. Thank you.
All right, Sid. That's what's up. All right, Miss Drea, we're going to swing back around to you.
This one is titled Black Women Are Dope. Please don't at me. Please don't comment if you're here to disagree, nor come with your Me Too movements. This is about you. This is not about you. It's about me. Us. We are the originators, the creators of life. Black women are dope. It's okay for you to change and rewrite history, sell us a dream that you were great, that we can't take pride in us. Black women are dope in every size, short, tall, long, wide, every shade, light, dark, caramel complexion, chocolate, so divine. We are all a vibe. Black women are dope, the creators, the originators of culture that you love. Black women are dope, like the water that we need, like the air that we all breathe, like the light that shines bright, like the teacher who never gave up the fight. Black women are dope. We were the Sorry, Black women are dope. We were taught to believe that we should be modest, don't give ourselves praise, shelter yourself, don't be too loud, don't be too proud, don't voice your opinions. Everything that you need to know is in this book. Follow our religion. Black women are dope. I will repeat it over and over again. Do you believe you are dope? Black women are DOPE, divine like wine, open hearted, warm and kind, phenomenal, outstanding, extraordinary, remarkable in every way, electrifying, extravagant, full of enthusiasm. It is important to edify who you are. Black women are dope. When you describe me, a Black woman, I am she, educated, bold, creative, innovator, woman of color, a powerful breed. Show respect whenever you see a queen. Black women are dope. Women of color are dope. Never forget who you are and what you can and will achieve. Always believe in who you are. Winners, achievers, innovators, mothers, counselors, chefs, therapists, teachers, healers. When they speak your name, make sure they edify you correctly. Black women are dope.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to return back around to you, Sid.
Alrighty. All right, let me pull one more out the archives.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to go too deep, so I'm gonna go on something light. Or maybe I should. I did this poem in our class, the community lit class, and I'm still working on it, but hey. It's called, or it doesn't have a title, it's untitled. They say color doesn't matter until a white man is in harm's way. It's a chase for them. They get to call the police. As they say, they're going to noose us, threaten us, make fake accusations. PTSD of the stories our ancestors told, they're endless. Everyone screams that history changed, but we're still living in them. We started to ignore his ignorant habits. He continued to talk shit, threatening to hang us. And of course we reacted. We said we're not a fool, don't play us twice because we're fed up with the bullshit. I assumed the bullshit you saw and heard was a gun. You called the police on 2 Black kids in a McDonald's line. The police waited for us to pull out. I was just trying to get my sister some food late at night. One turn, the police pulled us over immediately, told us to get out the car, the driver first. I walked out, put my hands on the back of my head. One step after another, I was walking backwards. I told my boyfriend it was going to be okay. I kept walking backwards with their instructions, left foot, right foot, until I was to the curb with my back facing towards them. They asked if anyone was in the car. I said, yeah, my boyfriend. Boyfriend, get out, they sarcastically said. A Black man scared, becoming reckless, he's tired. He doesn't turn around and his hands aren't behind his head. Put your hands behind your head, the cop said. Babe, please turn around and put your hands behind your head. He continues to walk nonchalantly. More cops' cars surround us, tears slowly building as I saw them exit their cars, pointing a gun towards my boyfriend. I begged in my head for this to be over, pleading to God and my mom to protect us. Babe, put your hand behind your head. Why did y'all pull us over? I asked. I'll tell you in a second. Babe, please listen. Put your hands behind your head. You're a Black man. We both get to the curb. They instantly put handcuffs on him. I expected to have cuffs on me next, but they proceeded with my car. Why did you pull us over? I asked again. We'll tell you in a second. We're going to search your car. No, sir. Please tell me why you pulled us over. We'll tell you in a second. We're going to search your car. Why did you pull us over? A white man harassed us in a McDonald's line, saying he was going to noose us. Yet we got pulled over? I forcefully asked. That's not what the call said. It said that y'all had a gun. Why the fuck would we have a gun in a McDonald's line? We're just 2 college kids trying to make it through life. Why would we have a gun? Why would we show the gun? We know what it's like to be Black in America. We know the white men would call on us instantly. They aren't afraid for us to lose our lives. They aren't afraid of the outcome because they get to walk away freely. So you guys are going to let it slide, let him walk away clear as day, knowing he was racist towards us. He threatened us over a spot in line that we knew he had. We let him go after a reminded of a noosh knowing our ancestors died this way. A reminder of a gun towards our head knowing I lost a father that way. Reminders and PTSD just don't go away. They searched my car, my freedom was snatched away. No warrant, just a tell from a racist man. They checked my back seat, my front seat, my trunk. Well, they don't have a gun, the cop said after finishing searching my car. We told you that, but you believed the white man instead. We had to take every precaution necessary, but you had to put him in handcuffs? We didn't do anything wrong. We can see that now, the cops jokingly said. We would like to press charges on him for the false accusation and pain and suffering we went through. No. Why can't we press charges on Mr. White Man? You guys should have called first, the cop said. Why would we call first knowing that the law is never on our side? They took my boyfriend out of his handcuffs, told us we were free to go, as if the walk wasn't hurtful enough, back to our car. Mr. White Man walked away free, telling his tales to his family and friends that a young black couple pulled out a gun on him, not knowing his racist remarks and tales damaged us. He gets to continue to do this on more black kids and couples until one day he puts someone behind the bars. It'll just be a laughing joke to him and his family because the white man did it again.
All right. Well, everybody, y'all have heard these poets from the Poetry Corner LA division. Please leave likes, comments, subscribe to the channel. As I say, tell a friend to tell a friend about the Poetry Corner on YouTube. Well, I'm going to close out with this piece titled Together. How far will it go when mental minds overload and the spirit lose hope besides the heart won't grow? Besides falling down a slope without means to cope, others think that I'm a joke until the truth is exposed. My moves create spaces to form crooked faces. There is no relation, I'm raising my situations. Vibrations are high and will remain singing bye-bye. I'm just the type of guy who won't be chilling at your side. Invitation too soon, I'm still walking and talking. Please proceed with caution while speaking and pausing. Gameplay, guard my ways, this man ride a wave. Many spots to stay and lay while I'm on vacay. Spoke to my counselor and social worker, now it's a therapist. Can't understand nonsense that exists on a waiting list. Application done, placed on tables of evaluation. I am still waiting to uncover what I'm debating. King. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everybody stay tuned. Poetry Corner LA. This is just one half of the division. It's a lot of things going on. Click, like, and subscribe so you can receive the notifications. And we'll be coming back soon. As I always say, peace, love, and poetry. And I thank you, ladies, for showing up tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.